Summer is graduation season. If I were to start my career in 2026, what I would say to myself is not to work harder. The better question I would ask myself is, what can I make myself useful faster? Because nowadays with AI, to learn quickly, to show initiative, and to help the people who are around you who has the power and capacity to help you with a head start in your career. So if I were to start my career today in 2026, here are the 5 useful workflow that I will adopt by using AI. It's not to replace real judgment, but to get more reps and be more prepared when the opportunity hits. Let's get started. I'm not saying this as someone who has figured it out. Nobody has. I started my career in investment banking. I started in Hong Kong. I ended up in London. I got laid off twice, and somewhere in between, I had to restart and build from scratch many times. Moving countries, getting a global talent visa, starting a company, doing a lot of things I didn't know there's a playbook that I can learn from. But I'm still here. And so here's my story and the learning I wish somebody had told me when I first started. Something I wish I know better earlier is your career is not just your job title. Your career is also not just your company name. Of course, all of those matters in the conversations and interactions with other people and building your credibility. But your career, more importantly, is what you learn along the way, what kind of relationship you build up for yourself, independent of the company, independent of the title, independent of the city that you live in, like how much capital you've built up for yourself if you were to start from zero. It's your skills, your relationships, your judgments, your proof of work, and your ability to keep learning. And with today's AI, a lot of those has become possible. Just by using a few simple and easy workflow, you'll be able to get there. So when I first started out, I think a lot of the problem is it's just because you're basically dropped into an ocean of unknown. Like nobody is going to map out what is happening. There are so many different acronyms, there's so many different departments. All of those, unless you can zoom out and stand on a really high up standpoint, you won't be able to know, and you also definitely do not have those access to the people who know that every day. But now with AI, you can certainly just ask for, like, look, I just joined this team. Let's say you join a investment banking team covering AI companies, but you wanted to know what other teams are out there, what does your peers like the trading floor doing. You can certainly ask AI, of course, always leverage the people around you. AI should be just a complementary tool. But once you are so prepared, it also help you to have better conversations when you're talking to real people. Or for example, I recently looked back to some of my older videos when I first left banking. With some simple prompts, I was able to get some really quick answers, as if I'm sitting down with a research analyst, as if I'm sitting down with an industry veteran. And all of those wouldn't have happened like without today's technology. Back in the days, you'll be doing your own research. I think now today, you still need to do your own research because all of the AI tools are definitely, sometimes they make mistakes. And if the less you know about industry, the less easy for you to recognize the pattern of making mistakes. So I would certainly recommend always go back to fact check those facts that you get from AI, but it's just a much faster way nowadays. So the prompt I use is act as a research assistant. I'm trying to understand bracket, topic, industry. Map the key segments, major players, business models, current debates, and vocabulary, and the questions a smart beginner should ask. Then tell me what insider care about that outsider usually miss. This is a brilliant prompt because it gives you just like a foot in the door straight away. Amazing. Like, I wish someone had told me that. Workflow number 2 is stop showing up blank to coffee chats. You know how it works. We all have, like, everyone loves coffee. So usually when people first start their career, there will be a lot of arranged coffee chats. And then the new joiners, I remember back in the days when I was in banking, the analyst would be like, oh, I really want to have a coffee chat with you, which I always welcome. But above the first coffee chat, what are you going to talk to them about? If you are going just for the vibe, just for the coffee, it can slowly become something that is not adding a lot of value to the other person's life. Because remember, sometimes if you want to get some insights or building the relationship with your senior or with someone who you want to build a better relationship, push yourself and leverage and lift yourself to their level. You want to be able to think at their level. So if you're not going as prepared, it's actually not going to help you that much because, they know that it's nice to have you around, but they might not know first what you're up to, can they help you, and how you can help them. So with AI, never really show up with a blank state of mind. I really hate this term of pick your brain. I was like, why do I need to give you my brain to pick? I think it's just my personal preference, but I really, really do not like this term. I also think that back in the days, we have readily available Google. I always try not to ask questions that I can just get an answer from, like an easy Google search. Nowadays with AI, you do not have any excuse. In the past, I also was so stressful all the time because when English is not my first language, right? So back in the days, when I went ask my manager for a coffee, ask my boss for a coffee, this guy is really a no-nonsense guy. So there's no amount of small talk that's almost like above 2 sentences that I know that he wouldn't really like it. So I really need to have all the real content that I want to talk about. Usually I will write down the talking point, the first 1 minute of our chat. I literally remember it hard. I was like, hey, I'm really happy that we get to talk this time, and I want to talk about this deal, this transaction, and what do I want to learn more from. Because now with practice and slowly, I still need to practice for all my calls, for all my coffee chats, but because of the repetition I was able to do intensively in the past 2 years by building my own company, by talking to the camera, by going to a lot of events, by willing to make mistakes. Now I don't need to do that anymore, but I think as someone who just recently started your career, possibly this is something that you will want to practice early on, so you'll get to the stage that you don't need to practice it anymore. And with AI, it's so much easier. The prompt you can use is, I had a 25-minute chat with someone in the field. Here's their public bio, or any context you want to and comfortable of giving to AI. Help me prepare a short intro, 3 thoughtful questions, and 1 way I can be useful back. Be useful is helpful because, remember, when you're talking to someone who's more senior than you, or they just have a million other stuff that they need to think about and worry, they're not thinking about you the whole time. Nobody is thinking about ourselves more than ourselves, right? So for these people, of course, they will be happy if they can help, but they will also be more happy if you think in their shoes and try to offer, what can I be more helpful? Some of the people do this in a really, really nice way. They always ask, how can I be helpful? How should we take this forward? What's the immediate next step we can take to move something forward? Of course, that's in the business building context, but it works the same way if you think about your career as the business that you're building for yourself. This is a lifelong company building because you are the CEO of your own career. You are the CEO of your own life. Workflow number 3 is learn to make useful fast passes, because now with AI, it's so much easier. In banking back in the days, I think what made analysts valuable when they first started their career, I hope I will be able to do that, but I wasn't really that successful of doing so, is that to provide something extra that when people ask you to do something. Because sometimes people need to have a little bit more time to think about what they ask you to do. A lot of the things that the early careers people are doing are very basic, which is fine because they want to test whether you have the capacity to do something. But why don't you go a step further and say, hey, I think about this scenario, and also maybe next step I can offer to do this. Nowadays, you see the AI chats are always doing that. Why don't you just maybe ask, follow the AI and say, hey, if you want to, I can also do this A, B, C, and D. I'm sure your boss and the teammates will be greatly, feel like a relief when you're offering extra help. You don't have to do it yet, right? Also you can maybe, if it's easy enough, you can just do a sample to say, hey, I thought of it this way, is it necessary? And don't feel discouraged when people say that, oh, actually, don't worry about it, because you learn something along the way. So it's not a waste of time or anything that's personal. So the prompt that you can use is, my manager asked me to prepare an overview of this company before a meeting or something. Draft a 1-page briefing, what they do, business model, recent news, key risks, questions to raise, and what I should verify myself. The caveat is you need to always do the work. Again, AI can make mistakes, and sometimes they make mistakes really confidently. I have some other videos about this. Especially early on in your career, you don't know the obvious mistakes yet. So always it's good to double check by yourself, or just do another fact check. That sometimes use another AI to do another fact check. So just so that it's from a different perspective. It's like a quality control kind of thing. Even if AI is helping you to do work faster, you do need to understand what you're presenting, because you don't want AI to replace your job. And if you use AI in this way, AI just become a really, really helpful assistant, but the judgment is still within you, and that's what you need to protect at all costs. So workflow number 4 is to build proof of work. Even as someone who just started their career, you can definitely build something that's your own brand. You can think about your own thinking. You can even start a newsletter about some social, even maybe economics events, maybe some analysis that has no conflict of interest of what you're doing. Or you can just even start as small as building your LinkedIn profile. How about that? It's to the extent of that's allowed, what can you share on LinkedIn? So then people actually know you as a person, not you attached to a specific company name or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, a company that provides enterprise value is because it is the brand name itself, and it's not just about you, but you are the ultimate person who's the beneficiary of building a valuable career and the proof of work for yourself. A lot of people waiting for permissions, they will always be like, oh, I need to check this A, B, C, and D. And actually they never check. They just let the thoughts hang on in their head and never really check whether I can do this, whether I can do that. Whereas a lot of successful entrepreneurs or people who are more entrepreneurial, I found out that they're just going to do the work before asking for permission. Yes, of course, like caveat is if you're working in some way highly confidential, like confidential information never should be shared, but there's a lot of different things you can build your own credential, like what are you interested in, whether it's building like a simple landing page even, that can also help you. So the prompts that you can use is, I want to break into this industry, give me 5 small proof of work projects I could finish in a weekend that show curiosity, judgment, and communication. Like it could be, for example, let's say you start in banking, but you really want to go into AI. Like that was, when I was in banking, I always wanted to go into big tech. It didn't happen, but like let's say that's the case for my 25-year-old self. Let's say now with the AI, I will know that what I need to prepare myself for, like have more project relevant work, possibly do some vibe coding work, possibly, and learn a little bit of coding language, possibly, and go to more industry events. All of those, you can curate a really nice notebook kind of journal, learning journal for yourself. And whenever you can meet other people next time, you can show them. When I first left banking 2 years ago, I started the podcast. I do it out of curiosity and interest. It has slowly become part of my business and the way that I can build connections and credibility with other people. Without that, I wouldn't be able to reach these people, at least not as easy as it is now. And then workflow number 5 is to build a relationship memory system. Why did I say that? Because I think when you're younger, you feel like networking is just to meet impressive people. You want to meet people who can either give you a job or like teach you something, without thinking how you can pay it back, because you feel like, oh, being young, I just don't have anything that I can pay back. Or when you think of the word building a relationship, you just hang out with your peers. But sometimes you don't even know what they're doing. What they are doing could be really helpful for you, whether it's at the time when you're 25 or even more helpful when you're 35. Like, I wish I get to know this earlier and better, because when I was in my 20s, I always meet a lot of people. I would say that now, not many people I can actually remember how we met and what they're doing. And sometimes they pop up in my feed. I was like, oh my God, this person is doing a startup, that person is in data centers, and this person is an investor. I totally do not have any context or memory how did we meet or how they end up there, because we didn't keep in touch. It's not until I was going through the layoff and redundancy, I started to build up my own personal relationship memory machine, like memory system, because out of necessity and urgency. But it's kind of a bit too late. So if I were to start my career again, that's the first thing I would set up in my Notion template or whatever system that is. You can check out the previous video about how I use Notion to build up my personal CRM. or any other tools, as long as you have a system you can go back to. That's not a bad place to start. I should have started this way younger though. 10, 15 years ago when I first started my career, my first internship, and really have a system to follow up with people better. I make a whole another video about how I use ChatGPT and Notion to check. Also, there's another one about Claude and Notion to help me build and update my personal CRM, my personal and now company CRM for myself. So if I were starting in 2026 as a fresh graduate, I wouldn't just ask what job should I get. I will look into the jobs that can open more doors for me, that gives me more opportunities for the next job and gives me more safe space to fail and more opportunity to get onto the trend for the future, and also keep relationship alive. So the company might change, your industry might change, your title might change, the people around you might change, even the tools that you're using would change. But the transferable skill, the ability to learn, the curiosity to ask, and the willingness to build and keep the relationship will stay with you forever. And that is the best career capital you can get. Today with AI's help, I have more confidence than ever before. If you were starting in 2026, you have a higher chance to be successful if you follow your curiosity and the motivation. You don't need a perfect path. I certainly didn't have a perfect path. I have the most zigzag path that I can ever think of. But you just need to be able to use the tools that you have at hand, today's AI, to become more useful than the circumstances expected. And start the things you wish that you start sooner in life. And remember, the goal is never to use AI to replace your thinking or replace your day-to-day life. The goal is to use AI to help you live a better, fuller, and more prepared life, especially for people who are just starting out. I'm an ex-investment banker and entrepreneur now, building my own company using content, building rooms and communities, and helping climate tech companies get the funding they need faster. If you like this video, I think you also like this video here, and if you can give such a thumbs up or share with your friends and family, it's really gonna help the channel goes a long way. I'll see you in the next video.